They found me in that burned-out diner with 37 pairs of human ears on my belt, and a 10-year-old girl's tears still fresh on my hands. But before that Brotherhood paladin pulled the trigger, before my story ended in laser fire and righteous fury, I had to tell someone the truth about what we raiders really are, and why every single person in the Wasteland is just 3 bad days away from becoming one of us. You ever wake up with someone else's blood under your fingernails, not remembering whose it was? That's where I am right now, sitting in what used to be a diner, somewhere outside what the old maps call Bakersfield. The jet's wearing off, that beautiful, terrible clarity fading like morning fog over irradiated water. My hands won't stop, shaking, not from fear, from the come down, from knowing what comes next. They'll find me soon, the ones I betrayed. Or maybe the Brotherhood will get here first. Doesn't matter. This recording, this is all that'll be left of me, of what I've done, of what we all do out here in the wastes. The caravan burned for 3 hours yesterday, or was it today? Time gets funny when you're riding the dragon. When the jet hits your lungs, everything slows down, becomes crystal clear. You can count the fear sweat droplets on a trader's forehead before you cave his skull in with a tire iron. You can see their lips forming the word please before the sound even reaches your ears. We hit them at dawn. 37 souls in that caravan, heading north toward what's left of Vegas. They had guards, mercenaries in mismatched combat armor, probably pulled from some dead NCR troopers. Didn't matter. When you're riding high on a cocktail of jet, psycho and buff out, when your whole gang is screaming war cries older than the bombs themselves, guards don't mean much. I remember the moment perfectly. That's the curse of jet. It burns memories into your brain like a brand into flesh. The lead guard, this woman with grey hair tucked under a reinforced helmet. She had kids' drawings folded in her chest pocket. I saw them flutter out when skagged, put 3 rounds through her chest. Crayon stick figures under a yellow sun. A sun that doesn't exist anymore, hasn't for 200 years. You want to know how someone becomes a raider? You think we're born this way. I was 8 when the vault door opened. Vault 15, though you probably never heard of it. Most people haven't. We weren't supposed to leave for another 50 years, but the water chip failed. Funny how one little piece of tech can doom hundreds of people. The overseer tried to keep order as we emerged into the wasteland, but order's just another word for first to die out here. My mother lasted 6 days. Rad Scorpion got her while she was trying to dig for water. My father made it 2 weeks before another group of survivors decided our supplies looked better in their hands. They left me alive. Too small to be a threat. Too young to be worth a bullet. That's when the Khans found me. Not the great Khans you might have heard about. This was before they became great. Back when they were just another gang trying to carve out territory between the ruins of the old world. They gave me a choice. Same choice they give every orphan they find. Join or feed the radroaches. You learn quick as a raider child. First lesson. Pain is just another sensation, like hunger or cold. Second lesson. Everyone outside your gang is already dead. They just don't know it yet. Third lesson. The chems make it easier. They always make it easier. By 10, I'd killed my first Wastelander, old man hoarding purified water in a basement. 6-stick held him down while I did it. Initiation, they called it. The knife felt heavier than a Fat Man launcher in my hands. The old man kept saying his daughter's name, Sarah, over and over. Sarah, Sarah, Sarah. Even after his throat opened up like a second mouth. The older raiders laughed, passed me a hit of jet to celebrate. That first time, God, that first time. Suddenly the shaking stopped. The old man's voice faded. Everything made sense. The world wasn't cruel. It was just honest. We're all just atoms spinning in the void, and some atoms get to keep spinning longer than others. That's what we tell ourselves. The caravan yesterday, today, they were carrying medical supplies, stim packs, Radaway, antibiotics from some olds. Robco facility, worth more than caps out here, worth killing for. Everything's worth killing for when you're hungry enough, when you're deep enough in the hole. You see a raider, you think monster, You're not wrong, but you're not right either. We're what happens when the social contract burns up in atomic fire. When civilization's mask slips off and shows the skull beneath. Every person walking the wastes is 3 missed meals from becoming one of us. 3 bad days. 3 bullets in the wrong direction. The NCR, the Brotherhood, the Enclave, they all pretend they're different. They wear uniforms, follow codes, salute flags that don't mean anything anymore. But I've seen NCR soldiers execute prisoners for their gear. I've watched Brotherhood paladins let entire settlements starve rather than share tech. The uniform doesn't make you civilized. It just makes you a hypocrite with better armor. At least we're honest about what we are. The jet's almost gone now. I can feel time speeding back up, reality creeping in like radiation sickness. The diner's getting darker. Or maybe that's just my eyes. Used to be, 1 hit would keep me flying for hours. Now I need 3 just to stop the shakes. That's the thing about chems. They promise escape, but they're just another cage. A prettier cage maybe. One that feels good, but still a cage. I can hear engines in the distance. Motorcycles. The gang's found me already. Let me tell you about the gang. My family. My killers. Skag leads us. 200 pounds of muscle and scar tissue, with a mohawk dyed with brake fluid and blood. He wasn't always like this. Found a holotape once, back when we were raiding some old suburban ruins. His pre-war ID, Mitchell Skagner, insurance adjuster, had a wife, kids. Probably died thinking he'd see them again when the vault doors opened. The bombs don't just destroy buildings, they destroy the stories we tell ourselves about who we are. Then there's Six Stick, named for the rebar club she carries. Still got chunks of her first kill's skull embedded in it. She sings lullabies while she works. Real ones, from before the war. Hush, little baby, don't say a word. Crack. Mama's gonna buy you a mockingbird. Crack. The contrast breaks people faster than the pain. Roadkill's our driver. Kids maybe 16, probably younger. Don't ask how he got the name. Actually found him the same way the Khans found me. Small, alone, faced with the choice. He chose to live. We all chose to live. That's the joke. Choosing to live in this world means choosing to become something that probably shouldn't exist. The caravan guards fought hard. I'll give them that. One of them, this ghoul in ranger gear, he took down 4 of us before the psycho turned Skag into something beyond human. Beyond pain. I watched him take 3 bullets to the chest and keep walking, laughing, his machete turning the afternoon into abstract art. The traders, though, they always beg, always try to bargain. We have children. So did we once. We're just trying to survive. Aren't we all? Please, we're human beings. That's the problem. We are too. After the killing comes the sorting. Chems first. Always chems first. Then weapons, ammunition, food, water. We leave the bodies for the bloat flies and rad scorpions. Circle of life, Wasteland style. Sometimes I wonder if we're just another part of the ecosystem now. Predators in leather and rust, culling the weak, keeping populations in check. The motorcycles are getting louder, maybe 5 minutes out. You know what the worst part is? The absolute worst part. It's not the killing, not the stealing, not even the chems eating holes in your brain, turning your memories into Swiss cheese. It's the moments between when the jet wears off and the psycho fades and you're just you. Sitting in a burned out diner, looking at your hands, remembering when they used to build things instead of tear them down. Remembering your mother's voice, singing you to sleep in the vault, back when the biggest danger was disappointing the overseer. Those moments when you remember you used to be someone's child, someone's hope for the future. But there is no future. Not for raiders. We all know how this ends. Face down in the dirt, bullets in our backs, our stuff picked clean by the next group, the next gang, the next generation of broken children with knives and chemical courage. The engine's just cut off. They're here. They're not rushing in. That's bad. When raiders take their time, it means they want to savor what comes next. I can hear Skag outside, that wheeze laugh of his echoing through the broken windows. "We know you're in there, Roach." That's what they called me. Roach. Because I survived everything. Radiation, bullets, betrayals. Until now. You want to know what I did? Why they're here to paint this diner with my insides? I let the kid go. There was a child in that caravan. Maybe 9, 10 years old. Same age I was when the Khans found me. Hidden in a Brahmin feed barrel, breathing through a piece of garden hose. The others were too high to search properly, too eager to get to. The chems. But I found her. Big brown eyes, tears cutting clean tracks through the wasteland dust on her face. I should have put a bullet in her head. Mercy, we call it. Better than starving. Better than what other things in the wasteland would do to her. Better than becoming like us. But I saw myself in that barrel. Saw my mother's face in hers. The jet was wearing off. And for one moment, one stupid, weak, human moment, I remembered what it felt like to believe people could be good. I gave her my water, pointed her toward shady sands, told her to run and never look back. Sick Stick saw me do it. And in our world, in the Raider world, that's not just betrayal, it's blasphemy. It's admitting that maybe, just maybe, we're the monsters everyone says we are. The door just creaked. They're coming in slow, tactical. Funny, we learned that from an old Brotherhood deserter we tortured once. 3 days we kept him alive, him, babbling about combat protocols and night training between the screams. We absorb knowledge like that, like radroaches feeding on garbage. Take what's useful, discard the rest. Tell them about the pit, Skag calls out. Tell your little recording about what we did in the pit. The pit. Jesus Christ, the pit. You probably heard stories. City of slaves, ruled by raiders, where the smoke never clears and the trogs hunt in packs. All true, but the stories don't tell you what it smells like. Burning metal and rotting flesh and something else. Hope dying. They don't tell you about the kids born in the mills, their lungs black before they take their first breath. We went there 2 winters ago. Freelance, job for Asher's lieutenants. They needed fresh slaves, we needed ammunition. Simple trade, human cattle for the means to create more human cattle. The slavers have a saying, the collar makes the slave, but the whip makes them grateful for it. We brought back 47 people from a settlement near the capital Wasteland. 47 souls who woke up that morning thinking they'd see the sunset. You know how you break a person, really break them? It's not pain. Pain just makes them angry, gives them something to fight against. No, you break them by making them complicit. Make them choose which of their friends gets tortured. Make them hold down their loved ones while you work. Make them thankful when you finally put the collar on, because at least then the choices stop. I was good at it. The best, Skag used to say. Because I understood something the others didn't. We're not breaking them. We're just showing them what they already were. Strip away society, comfort, safety, and we're all just animals pretending to be angels. Roach! That's Roadkill's voice, from somewhere above me. They're on the roof now too. Remember that Brotherhood patrol. Remember what you did to that scribe. The scribe. Young woman, maybe 25. Thought her power armor made her invincible, until we crippled it with pulse grenades we'd scraped together from old Robco parts. The armor became her coffin. Took us 3 hours with blowtorches to cut her out, and by then she was begging for death in 3 different languages. But before, that while she still had hope, she told us things. About the Brotherhood's bunkers. About their supply routes. About how they justify hoarding technology, while settlements die from radiation poisoning 50 feet from their gates. She kept saying they were saving humanity, preserving knowledge, for when the world was ready. I asked her who decided when the world would be ready, who chose which humans were worth saving. She didn't have an answer, none of them ever do. The floors creaking upstairs, they're surrounding me, taking their time like I said. This is theatre for them, entertainment. You need to understand something about Raider culture. And yes, it is a culture. We have rules. Hierarchies, traditions passed down from gang to gang like mutations in DNA. We have our own songs, our own prayers to gods made of chrome and rust. We have coming-of-age rituals that would make pre-war psychologists weep. When a raider child makes their first kill, we mark them. Scars, burns, tattoos made from radioactive ink that glows in the dark. Mine's on my left shoulder, a mushroom cloud with a skull in the center. It still burns when it rains. We have marriage ceremonies where both parties have to survive trial by combat first. Funerals where we eat the hearts of our dead to keep their strength in the gang. Yeah, we eat our own. Started as desperation during the lean times, became tradition. Everything out here starts as desperation and becomes tradition if you do it long enough. We even have our own economy. Ears taken from kills, traded like currency within the gang. I had 37 pairs on my belt before I threw them away this morning. 37 people who had names, histories, favorite songs. Now they're just dried leather decorations proving I'm good at ending stories. We treated you like family. 6-Sticks screams through the walls. She's crying. Didn't know she could. Still do that. Family. That's the poison and the medicine both. When society collapses, when the world burns, you cling to whatever tribe will have you. And once you're in, once you've spilled blood together, eaten from the same irradiated corpse, shared needles and nightmares, you can't leave. Not really. Even if your body walks away, part of you stays with the gang forever. I loved them. God help me. I loved them all. Not the way you love in the old world, with valentines and wedding rings, but the way you love in the Wasteland, fierce and desperate and tinged with the knowledge that any day could be the last. When Roadkill got shot by NCR Rangers, I carried him 20 miles to find a doctor. When 6-Sticks' jet addiction got so bad she couldn't hold her weapon, I held her through 3 days of withdrawal, her nails clawing bloody grooves in my arms. And Skag saved my life more times than I can count. Pulled me out of a nest of Cazadores once, their poison already shutting down my nervous system. Sucked the venom out himself, nearly died from it. Another time, when a Deathclaw got me, he charged the thing with nothing but a pool cue and psycho-fueled rage. We were family, the broken, psychotic, chemically dependent family that the Wasteland creates. But families can be prisons too. The window just shattered. Smoke grenade. They're coming in undercover, professional-like. We learned that from the NCR deserters we recruited last year. Everyone who joins brings knowledge. Everyone who dies leaves lessons. Through the smoke, I can see them. My family. My executioners. But wait, something's wrong. They're all looking behind them, toward the south. I hear it now too. Vertibird engines. Brotherhood or Enclave doesn't matter. Both mean death for raiders. Shit. Skag's already running. Everybody move. Now! They're leaving. Just like that. They're leaving me. Not out of mercy. Raiders don't do mercy. But because survival trumps revenge. Always. First rule of the Wasteland. I should run too. But I'm tired. So goddamn tired. And this recording isn't finished. Someone needs to know. Someone needs to understand what we were. What we are. The vertibirds are getting closer. 3 of them, from the sound. Probably Brotherhood. They've been pushing into this territory for months, trying to secure some pre-war tech cache supposedly buried near here. They shoot raiders on sight. Standing orders. We're classified as abominations in their codex. Not human enough to warrant trial or imprisonment. Maybe they're right. The vertibirds are circling now, searchlights cutting through the smoke like the eyes of God. If God wore power armor and carried a Gatling laser, I've got maybe 10 minutes before they land. 10 minutes to finish this. To make someone understand that we weren't just random violence in the Wasteland. We were symptoms of a disease that started falling from the sky 200 years ago. Let me tell you what raiders really are. We're the Wasteland's immune system gone cancerous. Nature abhors a vacuum, and when civilization died, something had to fill that space. That something was us. Every ecosystem needs its predators. Before the bombs, it was wolves and bears and men with badges. After the bombs, it's deathclaws and cazadores and men with mohawks and tire iron clubs. We're part of the food chain now, as natural as radiation storms and two-headed cattle. The searchlight just found me, right through the window, lighting me up like a stage actor about to deliver his final monologue. How appropriate. Raider. Scum, you are surrounded. Surrender or be destroyed. Brotherhood. Definitely brotherhood. You can tell by the self-righteousness crackling through the speakers. The Enclave would have just started shooting. Where was I? Right. The ecosystem. You know what keeps settlements from growing too large. Us. You know what prevents any one faction from gaining too much power. Us. We're the chaos that keeps the wasteland in balance. Without raiders, the NCR would have absorbed everything west of the Colorado by now. Without us, the Brotherhood would have hoarded every piece of tech from here to the capital Wasteland. We're not the disease. We're the fever, but fevers burn out, and we always burn out. The average raider lives maybe 3 years after joining a gang. 3 years of chems, violence, and running. Always running. From the law, from other gangs, from the voices in our heads. That sound like the people we used to be. I've lasted 12 years. 12 years of blood and jet and watching the mushroom cloud tattoo on my shoulder fade from nuclear green to sick yellow. I'm ancient by raider standards. A legend. The roach, who couldn't be killed. Until today. This is your last warning. They don't understand. How could they? They've got their bunkers and their codes and their power armor between them and the real wasteland. They've never had to choose between eating your dead friend or starving. Never had to decide which child in your gang gets the last stim pack. Never had to stay high just to stop seeing the faces of everyone you've killed. The jet addiction isn't about feeling good. Hasn't been for years. It's about feeling nothing. About slowing time down enough that you can pretend for just a moment that you're not a monster. That somewhere, in some parallel universe that didn't get bathed in atomic fire, you became something better. I had a dream once. Was so high on a cocktail of chems I'd looted from some super mutant camp that I actually thought it was real. Dreamed. I was a teacher. Pre-war. Teaching kids about literature in a classroom with windows that weren't broken. Under lights that ran on electricity instead of fear. The kids in my dream had all the faces of people I'd killed. They were smiling. When I woke up, I cried for the first time in 8 years. Sick Stick found me like that, sobbing in my own piss and vomit, the dream still clinging like radiation sickness. She held me, didn't say anything, just held me while I shook the fantasy out of my system. That's what we really are. Not monsters, not heroes. Just broken people holding each other in the dark, pretending the chems and violence can fill the hole where hope used to live. The Brotherhood's landing now. I can see the paladins dropping from the vertibirds, their power armor making the ground shake. T-51B models, from the look of them. Pre-war military hardware maintained with religious devotion while settlements make do with pipe rifles and good intentions. They're setting up a perimeter. Textbook stuff. In about 2 minutes, they'll breach from 3 directions simultaneously. Professional, efficient, everything we're not. You know what's funny? Really, truly hilarious. The Brotherhood thinks they're saving the wasteland. The NCR thinks they're rebuilding America. The Enclave thinks they're preserving humanity. And Raiders, we know we're just trying to make it to tomorrow. We're the only honest ones in this whole irradiated mess. But honesty doesn't mean good. Doesn't mean right. Just means we can't lie to ourselves about what we do. That kid I let go from the caravan, she'll probably die anyway. If the rads don't get her, the wildlife will. If the wildlife doesn't, another gang will. I didn't save her. I just passed the guilt on to someone else. Somewhere out there, she's running through the wastes, thinking she escaped the monsters. She doesn't know she's just between monsters. We all are. The door's starting to glow. Plasma cutter. They'll be through in 30 seconds. I need to tell you about the last thing. The thing that made me let her go. The thing that signed my death warrant. In her eyes, behind the fear, I saw hope. Real hope. Not the fake stuff we paint on with chems and violence, but actual belief that tomorrow could be better than today. That somewhere, somehow, the world could heal. I haven't seen that in 12 years, forgot it existed, and for 1 second, one single crystalline second, I wanted to protect it. To prove that even raiders, even us, could choose to be something. Other than what the Wasteland made us, stupid, weak, human. The door's melting now. I can see a paladin's helmet through the hole. They're not even bothering to negotiate. Why would they? I'm just another raider, another infection to be burned out. They're not wrong. But before they pull that trigger, before my story ends in laser, fire, and righteous fury, I need you to understand one last thing. Every raider you meet, every psychopath with a mohawk and a chem habit, every killer wearing human ears as jewelry, they were all children once. They all had moments where they could have been saved, where one person choosing kindness over survival might have changed everything. But kindness is expensive in the Wasteland, and survival is the only currency that matters. The door's down. They're coming in. 3 paladins, weapons raised. The lead one's hesitating. Must be young. Probably his first raider nest. He's looking at the recorder, at me sitting here unarmed, probably wondering why I'm not fighting. What are you doing, raider? I'm telling the truth, knight. Something none of our factions ever do. I'm confessing. Not to God. He died with the first bomb. Not to you. You've already decided I'm guilty. To whoever finds this recording. To whoever's still trying to make sense of this irradiated hell we've built on the ashes of the old world. We're all raiders. Every single one of us. The only difference is the uniform we wear while we take what we need to survive. You dress it up in ideology, in flags and codes and brotherhoods, but underneath it all, we're all just scared children with weapons, taking from others before they take from us. The young paladin's finger is on the trigger, his hands shaking. First kill's always the hardest. After that, it gets easier. Too easy. Until one day you're sitting in a diner, covered in blood that might be yours, or might be someone else's, and you can't remember when killing stopped feeling like anything, at all. Any last words, raider? Yeah, knight, I've got last words. That little girl I let go. She's heading for Shady Sands. Brown eyes, black hair, about 10 years old. When you find her, and you will, because you Brotherhood types are thorough, don't put her in one of your bunkers. Don't turn her into another soldier for your cause. Don't make her like you, or like me. Let her keep that hope I saw. That spark that says maybe, just maybe, the world doesn't have to be this way forever. Maybe the cycle can break. Maybe one generation can choose to be better than the one that came before. Maybe. The laser fire is beautiful in its own way. Red light filling the diner like a second sunrise, like the world's getting another chance to start over. I hope that little girl makes it. I hope she grows up to be something better than all of us. I hope she proves that raiders don't have to exist, that we're not inevitable, that we're just what happens when hope dies and nobody bothers to bury it. My name was Marcus, before I was Roach, before I was a raider. When I was still my mother's son in Vault 15, I was Marcus. Remember that. Someone should remember that we had names once, before we became the monsters in the Wasteland, before we became exactly what the world needed us to be.